Hi, I'm Radhika Apte and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
We have with us Radhika Apte. She's been having a phenomenal year. We'll talk about what all she has been doing and why she's in such a huge demand. Pleasure having you back on Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you so much.
So are you enjoying? जहाँ पर देखो सिर्फ Radhika Apte.
I think now I need a break.
Now you need a break. Hey, in fact, I saw one of your interviews. You've been working non-stop for 9 months.
No, 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
2.5, 3 years, yeah.
Right, and this year has been phenomenal. One film after another and one show after another.
Yes, we had I had six releases and they all were successful, which is very unique.
Right.
So now I can go on a holiday.
You badly deserve that, actually. And so, how do you deal with these memes that you have around Netflix?
Well, they were very entertaining.
They are very entertaining.
Of
In fact,
course.
let me just have a few of them. Shows, Netflix shows सिर्फ 3 चीज़ों की वजह से चलते हैं. Radhika Apte, Radhika Apte, Radhika Apte. और मैं राधिका आप्टे हूँ. What is common between my mother and Netflix? मेरी मम्मी को खाने की हर चीज़ में एक्स्ट्रा घी डालना होता है और Netflix वालों को अपनी हर सीरीज में राधिका आप्टे. So even the Netflix, I think they told you when they said that we're having Padman coming up, and yes, it is having Radhika Apte.
Yeah. I think Netflix, their marketing team was so intelligent. The way they dealt with the whole trolls and the memes, that they made this whole thing of omnipresent, and they made that into a bigger thing than it was. And I wasn't a part of all this, so I got pocket-made publicity. But it just basically became bigger than it was.
Right.
But
you're not complaining.
I'm not complaining.
I'm sure. Okay, so what has been more satisfying, the films this year, or the shows on digital space?
Both the things, like so different. I mean, Sacred Games was absolutely amazing. Ghoul was great. Lust Stories was so good. It was their first biggest success in Asia. Andhadhun was, I mean, I don't have to say anything.
Right.
Bazaar, it's my first film where I've had that completely commercial Bollywood masala look that everybody thought that I would never get or do.
Right.
And Padman was a great film to start the year with. So I can't complain, I can't really compare. Just that I have shot for only 2 projects this year, so I'm missing the set life, and I've done lots of promotions this year.
Right.
So I'm very much ready to go back and start shooting.
All right. Yeah. Okay. You also coming on this entire audio space with Amazon with the Mafia Queens. That is Susan Zaidi. I've read the book actually, and I think it's a very good book. Yeah. I think his writing style is so addictive.
Yeah.
The moment you start reading any of his works, it just goes on and on. Yeah. So I've heard some of the portions of the audiobook as well.
Oh, okay.
And you know the way I experienced it.
Yeah.
So I was just coming for this interview right now, and it was there in my mobile, and it was there in my ears. And the world is created through the audio.
Right. I have to listen to it myself. But yeah, I think I started listening to storytelling on voice before. A lot of times before going to bed, I was listening to stories. And it was really very magical, because I remember as a child, we were brought up with stories, you know.
Right, yeah.
And there were also some tapes that my mother used to play as children. Then there was Pula Deshpande had made tapes of his own books, and so we did have the habit of listening. We did have the, but I think it's sort of lost because radios also started changing, because earlier radio was the primary source of entertainment also before television came in, and that was my childhood. TV came much later still in my house. So it's sort of going back to that, and I do enjoy that.
How do you think this medium can possibly be explored more? Because it is like you narrating whatever Susan Zaidi has written already, and trying to create that world. So you're also trying to have those expressions to just emphasize on certain points of what the protagonists are going through.
See,
is it a difficult medium compared to maybe the visual?
I mean, it's a different medium altogether. It's different on many levels. First of all, in visual art, you have so many other aids. You know, I mean, you have sound, you have visuals, you have other people with you, you have all the technicians making it, take it to another level.
Right.
Whereas theirs, the only thing you have is voice. maybe some background sound and music, but other than that, it's mostly voice. And it's also a performance done for every individual, because people listen to it in their ears. It's not an audience performance, so it's like a one-on-one storytelling in a way. You know, when people listen to it. So that way, I think to create the whole world without any aid is a challenge. And I think when I was doing this, I realized that there's such a long way to go. I would love to do it more and understand how to like modulate my voice, and how voice can, like, how train my voice. What are my bad habits in my speech, and you know, really like care about your speech and your delivery and communication through voice only. So I think that's a fascinating medium. And I also think that India, we have a culture of storytelling, and so to spread that will take no time, because so many people have to do so much of commute. You go jogging, you go running, whatever, workouts, you there's so much time which when you're idle, and you can actually make that more constructive by doing this. Another advantage is, like, I studied in Marathi, so I read a lot of Marathi literature at that time. I can still read, and now I read English mostly, but Hindi literature is something that I've completely missed out on. I find it very hard to read Hindi, not because I can't read it, because I'm not familiar with reading. My pace is very slow, but I think that with this, I could actually, you know, listen to more books. So it has very different. I know a lot of people who speak a certain language but can't necessarily read it.
Right. Yeah.
So
and speak quite well. There is this grouse of your Marathi audience that you spoke about Marathi literature. Since you're focusing so much on maybe English and Hindi, maybe that they're missing out on you doing stuff in Marathi.
I get those questions a lot, but it's not actually that I'm saying no to Marathi. Very honestly speaking, I don't get like loads of offers from Marathi. Whatever offers I get, if it's a story that doesn't excite me, I'm not going to do it. There was one film that came my way about 2 years ago, which was so exciting. And I was extremely thrilled. A very close friend of mine was writing it.
Right.
Another friend was directing it. And I was very excited to do that. But then a similar project came out in Hindi, and then the production out canned the project. And I just found out a few months ago. I was very disappointed. But so I was very excited to do that. But so far, I haven't received an offer where it's been like, okay, I want to do this.
Right. So personally, something that I really liked of what you've done this year is Ghul. I've seen it in entirety, and it's a very bold subject, first of all. And I'm sure it must have taken a toll as well while doing it. I believe Anurag wanted it to come out in the form of a feature film, but they were not too sure about the censor, so they prefer to just go through the Netflix route.
Yeah.
Did you have apprehensions? Because in the day and age that we live in, certain subjects can be taboo, and people can take things in a certain way which necessarily is not right.
But I mean, it's I think the film, it's a bold subject, definitely, and in today's day and age where the tolerance levels are not necessarily high. I don't know, I didn't feel scared, because what essentially the film is talking about is any society, whether it's whatever, like even if it's your house and you have a parent who is telling you how to be or what to do, how when one is brainwashed, and so nationalism there can be represented in any other format in various societies and various structures of society, where we don't question. Very highly intelligent, educated people don't question what is going on, and the moment you question, you become radical, because you're trying to break the path, because the moment you question, you realize that there's so many things that don't make sense. So essentially, fundamentally, it boils down to that principle, and there's nothing to be afraid of if that is something that I'm portraying. A lot of people ask if it was about religion, and I said, but the main protagonist is Muslim. You know, it's Nida Rahim, who's this nationalist heroine in the beginning of the film. So it's not. It's about a way of thinking. It's about brainwashed societies, whether it's your house or whether it's a society, whether it's a front. So no, I wasn't scared.
You're also having, I think, in Sacred Games is something that has worked really well. One thing about your character that has been spoken about a lot is when you were asked that maybe you are fit for the desk job. Maybe you should not be just going out, and you say that you're telling me because I'm a woman. How important was was that moment for you? Because that is something that has caught on. People have taken notice of that.
No, it was important. I mean, I really like that part in Sacred Games. I know, I mean, it's a reason being, you know, in Sacred Games, everybody is trying to execute power. Not everybody, but a lot of people in the characters are trying to like show power and sort of gain control. She's the one with the most power in the whole series. Like, she's above Saif, she's above all these other characters. She's the top one, apart from her boss. In the whole, but you don't see him. So whoever you see, whoever you're involved in, she's the one with most amount of power. But she never, and ambition, but she never shows that.
She can be manipulative as well.
Very manipulative, very, but she doesn't show it. There is nothing, no execution of, like, no exhibition of power in any way. And that was my very basic research point of view. And they said that basically raw agents, you will never even do a double take to look at a raw agent. There'll be nothing about them that you would want to look at again. Or when they're speaking to you, you would not know whether they are sleepy, whether they're tired, whether they are happy, whether they are angry. You will not be able to make out anything. So it was a very particular brief, and I really liked that. And a couple of like people actually wrote to me in detail, and they said that they really appreciated the fact that without showing power, she was powerful. And I think that is that was a good...
And do we see you in the part 2 of Sacred Games?
No, they killed me.
But even Nawaz, I think, has been killed, so...
But there you go into his backstory at least.
He can go into the
they just But I knew about that right from the beginning, so...
What was censorship that is being...
I don't know what's been happening and talked about, but I am against censorship. I think it's pointless to do it. I mean, everyone's done, seen, or whatever they want to see on digital. You can't stop people from doing something just by censoring certain things. I don't think that really has such a great influence, the kind of things we're trying to censor. But it does actually put a lot of constraint on people who are trying to have... They need to have freedom in expression, and freedom does come with responsibility, and people are not... like, you know, people understand that. You have this digital right now, they don't have censorship. There is nothing on digital space which is taking liberties to a level where it's not responsible.
They're adults who are just...
They're adults, and it's
choosing it out of...
Yeah, and you can't dominate a society like that. So I personally am against this censorship.
I love your story in Love Stories.
Okay.
How do you look at your character in... Because, you know, I felt that there are underlayers of a lot of humor.
Yeah, of course.
Because when she talks, and the way she talks, and the intellectual stuff that she talks, and it becomes so confusing.
It's completely
it becomes
contradictory.
so in-depth, and she just turns around completely at the end of it.
Yeah.
Do you find humor in...
I do, but I did not know the script till the day I went on the set.
Right.
So he gave me these monologues, and I was like, but where is it coming from? I had no idea. And he's like, trust me, just do it. And so, yes, there was a lot of humor. I was surprised every moment of the shoot because everything was new. So we did try to find where it comes from. And I think there's a lot of humor, there's a lot of contradiction. And the best part was, there was a part we shot and where you give an explanation of why she's behaving like this. What she's going through a lot of trauma and what has happened in her life. What is her relationship with her husband exactly? How is she abused in a way, mentally? But Anurag wanted to take that out. And I said, why did you take that out? And he said, that's because I want to see how people judge her when they don't know where it's coming from.
Oh, okay.
Which was very interesting because people judged her from like one extent to the extreme to the other, you know what I mean? Some people were like, oh my God, this is me. This is me. And men said that, not just women. Huh? Men were like, oh God, this is me, as in them.
Right.
And people were like, who is she? She's crazy, like doesn't make sense. And like, you know, like completely bizarre point of views, and it was very exciting and interesting. Some people hated it, some people loved it. It was quite exciting to see that.
Right. All right, so now this year has been phenomenal in terms of the box office. Most importantly, I think it has been the victory of content. It has been the victory of writing. I'm talking about the big screen especially. So you've been part of Andhadhun, there has been Razi, there has been Stree, there has been Badhai Ho. There have been so many films which have like a smaller films. Padman, for example, a wonderful film. And they have worked, and they have worked at the box office as well. People are taking notice of the fact that it's the writer's medium at the end of the day. They need to be given more respect. And somehow the big ticket films, maybe they have not worked. How do you look at 2019? Do you think it's going in the right direction?
I think 2019. How do I look at it?
From whatever has happened in 2018.
Well, I don't know what is going to happen in 19. I mean, now you have all these biggies coming out.
ऐसा लगता है कि राधिका आप्टे के पास हर चीज का जवाब हो सकता है जिस तरीके का आपको आज के टाइम पे इमेज बना हुआ है. Honestly speaking.
I wish that was true, but I don't have any answers. No, I just feel that a lot of big films are coming out now, and you have to see how they do as well. Like I don't think that just because one or two big films doesn't do well, or 4 of the other smaller films do well, that means everything is turned around. But I just feel that it's a good beginning. Not that big films shouldn't do well, but I'm saying it's a good beginning to say that, okay, content is taking priority, and just because you have big stars doesn't mean it'll only work. But that's not necessarily true either. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's of course it's great to have big stars to get a big opening, and comparatively a lot of other films we have had in last year, this year, which have been great in content, which have done nothing on box office. So you know what I mean? Or various big films that I am not a big fan of have done supremely well. So it's quite subjective. But yes, overall I think there's an inclination of content taking priority, writers being recognized, writers being paid well, respected well. About time. So it's a slow change.
Amir Khan has come forward and he has apologized to his audience, which is unprecedented. So he was there at Cinestan's writers contest.
He apologized for what?
He apologized for Thugs of Hindustan not doing well. He has said that maybe he has let his audience down. He takes responsibility for it. So he said that a minority of people, they liked the film, but majority did not like the film, and he takes responsibility for that. So I think this is unprecedented, because I don't think maximum time people, they tend to defend whatever they can, or maybe they don't talk about it. But just coming forth and showing that allegiance, that honesty towards their audience. So how do you look at something of this nature?
I haven't read it or anything, but I mean I met Amir once. I'm such a huge fan of his. I think he is somebody who makes you feel like an equal person. Like you know what I mean? He understands that work is work, and everybody's work is well respected and equally respected. And he's somebody who takes criticism very well as well, from whatever little I know. In the sense, he'll talk to you about what you don't like or what you like or other criticism. So he's very open to that, and he's not egoistic in the way that he will not be able to take something which might be perceived as failure or not. So I think he's incredible like that. And this is also great to not accept, but to say that the failure is accepted, for example. Not failure, but whatever, the criticism is accepted. I think it's a very great trait, quality. But I just don't think one has to apologize. I just don't think that, in the sense, it's okay to fail, no? I mean, of course, it's not my money, so I can say that, because
but he takes his audience very seriously.
Of course it does. No, but I do feel that people are allowed failures so that you take risks.
And he's not the director.
Yeah, exactly. And people should take risks, and the failures should be there. Of course, the money is a big thing here, because somebody's money is at stake. So you can't just say, "Arey, put all the money now. We failed." Can't, like, you have to be responsible, which is what I think Amir is doing.
But he doesn't take money. His money comes in once the film starts making profits.
Yes.
So in that regard, so it's not like a...
I think it's great, yeah.
Alright, so what are you doing next after this?
No, I have 2 feature films that I did this year which are foreign. One is called The Wedding Guest, which is directed by Michael Winterbottom. It has Dev Patel and me. It premiered at Toronto. It's due to release next year. And this other film I did about the spies in the World War II, which I don't know when it's releasing, but that's there. I'm about to sign a couple of films for next year. One is a Bollywood film, one is a British small indie film. I'm not yet ready to disclose it because these contracts are not it's still being signed. But I'm going for a break. I need to do nothing. I'm very much looking forward to it, because I think it's very important to to rest, to like rejuvenate,
Absolutely.
to read and to watch all the things that I've not been able to watch or read, and I want to take that break and sleep and eat and then come back fresh to do more work.
Right. You've been in a relationship with your husband for 7 years.
8
and
now, I think.
He's in London and you are here, so it's like a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
How's that? Is it? I'm sure I saw one of your interviews and you said that it's tough to.
Of course, it's difficult. I
handle
mean, you
something
miss
like
each
that.
other most of the times. But I think in today's day and age, it's become a lifestyle because there is no option. I mean, what do? You know what I mean? My work is predominantly here, his work is predominantly there, but we want to be together, so you make it work. And I think any relationship in life, you have to make it work. I mean, there are hurdles in every relationship, like ours is the distance. But we make it work. We're very like-minded. We are very together. So we know, we're very dedicated that way. So we've never really had a problem, apart from me crying probably most of the time like that.
Does he make songs for you? He's a musician, I believe.
Yeah, he does make songs for me. Very idiotic songs. They're quite stupid. You don't want to know them.
Alright, okay. What if Mehak is stuck in a room with ... Mehak from Phobia is stuck with Ganesh Gaitonde.
She'll ask him what is going to happen in season 2 and 3 because all she does is sits at home and watches Netflix. Because she can't step out, no?
Yeah, obviously.
So this is still from a point of view, no?
But you know, what a character. Like, I still remember I saw it, I think it Eros or something, and it's like, it gives you that.
Yeah.
What if Mehak is stuck in a room with Simi from Andhadhun?
I think she'll go crazy. I think Simi will drive her completely crazy. I think she'll lose all self-confidence and belief of whatever she is, wherever she is, and what she's thinking. And Simi will fuck with her head.
Is stuck in a room with Kalindi from Lust Stories.
Then I think they'll start talking about the dead girl, that dead girl's past and their relationship, and Kalindi will start making stories up from whatever's there in the room and really spook her.
What if she's stuck in a room with Priya Rai from Bazaar?
Yeah, they won't get along.
But she's stuck actually.
I don't think they'll get along.
You don't have to.
They'll just you know how Ross and what's his name, Mike, when they're having beers and they don't know what to do and they're waiting to get out of the room. It'll be like that.
Radhika, if you have to give a quirky gift to the
I'm
following
not
people,
quirky, haven't you noticed?
Gift is quirky.
Okay.
You are very quirky actually.
I'm not quirky.
You're underestimating. Okay, if you have to give a quirky gift to the following people, Rakhi Sawant.
I'll give her a package of scuba diving holiday.
Scuba diving
So
holiday?
she can go under the sea and forget everything else that's happening in her life and just dive into the ocean.
Enjoy. Alright, okay. If you have to give something to Ranveer and Deepika.
Oh. I don't know. Chocolates.
Chocolates?
Because everybody gives lots of other things. I don't think nobody gives them chocolates.
I think chocolate is something that everyone would give actually, from what I
Really?
understand. Yeah, that's the easiest thing to give.
That's true. Hold on.
Everyone gives you chocolates on Diwali.
I'll give them a small dog. Because it's so sweet and it's nice.
If you have to give a quirky gift to Ranbir Kapoor.
I don't know. I don't know him. Quirky gift to Ranbir Kapoor. Don't know. Help.
Ranbir Kapoor like a good script? Good script with Radhika Apte?
Oh God, no. I'm not so
A good book maybe? I think he likes to read from what I understand.
Really? Oh, so it's supposed to be good answers. Okay. I'll give Ranbir Kapoor a great script because he can really do justice to it.
Okay, so now next one is Ye Ya Wo. It is simple.
Okay.
Padman ya Bazaar?
Oh God. Bazaar for all the glamour, Padman for the absolute fundamental message.
Saif and Sacred Games is Saif and Bazaar?
Actually, I love Saif in Sacred Games, but in Bazaar, he sort of was so impressive because he was Gujarati that when I saw that, I was very, I was smiling. Whereas in Sacred Games, of course, he was very good, but I think Bazaar is more recent, so I think I'm more impressed because it's more recent.
You're right. Anyways, you're not in Sacred Games Part 2. So.
Exactly.
Short films ya theatre?
Oh my God, both.
Lust Stories ya Ghoul?
I think Both, yeah. I mean, very different. But I think somewhere love stories only because I didn't have enough of it. Like Ghoul, I shot for a month, so I sort of I did that process with Ghoul. Love stories was just 3 days and finished, and it felt like I wanted more.
Janvi or Sara? Who do you think has a better future? Janvi Kapoor or Sara Ali Khan?
Up to them, yeah. Up to them to see how they shape their careers. All the best to both of them.
Hunter or Badlapur? Which film is more important to you?
Man. So Badlapur in terms of career was more important to me. But Hunter in terms of... There's a really different spirit in Hunter because the film got canned the day before we were supposed to shoot. With trucks were being loaded and the producers ran away with money. Like they decided not to fund it. So it was a real team effort that everyone came together that day and said, no, we're going to make this happen. So it holds a different place in my heart.
I'm sure. Okay, Mumbai or Pune?
I mean, home is Mumbai now in a way, but there's this thing where Pune's, of course it's my city, but it's changed though altogether.
Mumbai or Pune?
I don't know. Neither maybe.
Andhadhun or Badai Ho, according to you, which is the better film of Ayushmann this year?
Because I haven't seen Badai Ho, Andhadhun.
Just for this, you should be getting an Oscar. Trust me, you're doing very well. You've done better than anyone else ever. This will be like goals of handling ye ya wo. True or false? Following statements, whether they are true or false.
But a statement about me, right? Because other people I don't know.
General.
Okay.
2018 has been an eye-opener for the film industry.
Yes. True.
Southern industry is much more disciplined than the Hindi film industry.
Discipline in what way?
Discipline, I think, in almost every way, in terms of the way they conceptualize, the way they script, the way they execute.
From my experience, no.
Okay.
From my experience, false. Again, I haven't done enough films in the South, but whatever I've done, I don't think so. I'm not saying Hindi is better than South either. I'm just saying South is not better than Hindi. I wouldn't make that as a statement.
In 2019, Netflix will make more audience in India than anywhere else. True or false, according to you?
Probably true. Could be, yeah. At least one of the top.
Ji.
Yeah.
If you can please complete the following sentences. When I look at my Netflix memes, I ...
Laugh.
I have a secret desire to work with ...
Karan Johar.
Oh, interesting. I'm sure that he would love to work with you as well. My guilty pleasure is ...
My guilty pleasure is many tiramisus. Like lots of tiramisus.
If you can define 2018 in a hashtag.
Exhausting but worth it.
Hashtag exhausting but worth it. Finally, you've worked with Rajni sir in Kabali.
Yes.
2.0 is releasing, and it's going to be an event of sorts in every sense of the word. Not merely in India, but I think all across the world.
Yes.
What is your personal take on it?
I'm not surprised.
You've seen the craze.
Yeah, I've seen the craze, and I'm not surprised at all. And I am just, I marvel at that man's popularity and career and work ethics and his how he handles his work and himself. I think it's extremely inspiring, and I want to send my wishes to him for his release, and like may he keep going on like that.
Did you experience Stampede and all that stuff when you used to go to Chennai during the time of shooting?
Shooting?
Maybe while
once, yes, because
releasing?
we shot in certain areas where it was kept very, like we shot in Malaysia a lot.
Ji.
But sometimes I remember there were like people coming from everywhere, and he used to just take his time and like wave at every group of people and like really make them feel.
But for you, did you experience it for yourself?
No, I used to be sitting in a corner reading my book, looking at him, like waving at other people.
All right, Radhika Apte, lovely talking to you as always.
Same,
congratulations for having a great year.
Thank you.
And we hope that 2019 is even better. Maybe more.
Really hope so.
I think more digital platforms will have to be created just to accommodate Radhika. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.
Hi, I'm Radhika Apte and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.